Oh yeah, that's dope.
And here we are again. Another Thursday, more of this bullshit. I have one of my nerds in the background doing his thing.
Hello.
And yeah, if you'd be interested in chatting about the stuff that I'm writing, it's all under the art and shit tab. If you scroll higher up,
Yeah.
I keep all of my stuff.
I was streaming. I was peeking through that. I was wondering what that was for.
Yeah, I'm trying to be a writer. I'd rather be doing, professional writing and streaming and shit like that instead of working in a warehouse and slaving away the rest of my life. So,
I feel that.
Devin was part of my stream last week, and he actually was around. I went on for about 45 minutes instead of my usual 20 to 30, and that's only because we had about 25 different people join and harass us, so...
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, at most I can usually get like 3 new people to chat with us. But last week I had one guy who was there pretty much the entire time. He was asking me for Twitch names, and he was making new Twitch accounts to follow me with for
Awesome.
some reason.
Probably liked your stuff and thought you deserved some sort of recognition, eh?
I guess. I mean, everything I write is on my Patreon right now. I haven't had any new updates in a little while. And disappointing, actually. It's mostly because I have severe writer's block, and I'm trying to make things perfect before I post them. And that's the hardest fucking part.
I feel that to an extreme degree. Extreme degree. I don't know why I couldn't speak for a second. Whatever.
It happens. But yeah, I have several projects I'm working on, including my own tabletop engine that Corey's helping me with. And, yeah. Tabletop engine, a game, about 7 different stories that I'm working on right now. Only 3 of them are public.
Oh. Pretty cool.
And, yeah. I'm working on a chapter right now for one called Panic. Working on the 5th chapter for it. It might be something you'd be interested in, too.
Yeah? What's it about?
The boiled down version? Psychics and monsters in a modern city setting. Only the monsters are pretty much formed from the spirits of people who were basically douchebags and didn't want to return to the natural cycle of resurrection and reincarnation. So yeah. And the psychics gain and unlock their abilities through emotional and mental trauma. You might like that one. It's a work in progress, though.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. When I posted the first chapter of it, a lot of people told me that they were hooked by it. At least the people I actually let read it. I'm trying to finish the 5th chapter right now, but I hit kind of a wall on how I want the end of the chapter to progress, and where I want to actually cut it off. It was going to be part of chapter 4, and then it would have been 8 or 9 pages longer than every other chapter so far. I want things to be consistent. I'm just trying to get everything, done. It looks like it's going to be a slow Thursday. Usually I've had at least one person come through by now. First 5-ish minutes. I asked my friend Goob if she'd come and chat and bullshit with us, but she's playing Terra and not acknowledging my last messages. Oh well. But yeah, there's a pilot on further down from when I initially came up with this idea and started it. Hello. Welcome to my shit show, where we pretty much just sit with decent music in the background and bullshit about my Patreon stuff. Which is, if you're watching on Twitch, which I assume you're probably watching on Twitch, it's all linked below. And I just got done about 10 minutes ago linking to my Discord for my Patreon too. Just got done with that. I don't think I want a bunch of people on the one that we're using right now, but that's because it's already a shit show up there. Yes, I know I'm using streamer mode. Goddamn. The woes of having 4 monitors. Oh right, you haven't been to my house yet, have you?
No, not your new one.
It's not really new. I moved back in with family because I'm in between apartments again, paying off bills. So, yeah. Well, as soon as I paid off a couple of said bills, more bills came up. Like the $4,000 that have to go towards my car from a couple weeks ago. Not sure I told you about that one.
Yeah, you did.
Chargers deteriorate after several years.
Oh, yes.
They did, but I'm putting money to them. That's the entire point. They're retired and have money to throw around for it. Oh, so they're just kind of loaning it to you? Yeah. So I'm paying them off. Because
yeah, I feel that.
They're both retired and have money and don't really do anything with it, so they help me on occasion. And I live with them, so I do stuff around the house. But back to the bullshit here. What are you reading through right now? Like, what are you checking out?
Nothing. I'm just on your general page, just looking around.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it might need a rework. At the very least, it needs images for everything, but I don't have money to buy or to pay for an artist to do new work for me. I haven't had an artist in like 3 years. And the artists I was using both just kind of fell off the map, basically. They stopped doing commissions, and I was their last commission. So.
Well, actually, if you need somebody that does work, I can send you a bunch of stuff that she's done. She's a friend of mine. She's my cousin's girlfriend. She lives right below me, actually. Her name's Browen. She's in the middle of making me this bomb-ass dragon, but like she's doing it for like 100% for free, and she's like doing it with these cool like glow-in-the-dark like UV reflective paints.
Yeah, but if I get an artist, I'm paying the artist one way or another.
Oh yeah,
it's the same thing. It's the same thing with Goob. Goob used to do a few drawings for me, like just for my characters and stuff like that for D&D campaigns. And I flat out told her I was gonna buy her stuff on Steam or send her money, one way or a fucking another.
Yeah.
And then she stopped doing stuff because it just fallout with her ex-boyfriend, shit like that. Oh well.
Yeah, but if you definitely want, I can give you some info. I'll talk to her about it because she works at the Java Cat downtown, and yeah, it's like this gluten-free, more healthier coffee shop that has like some like a little cafe.
Okay.
She works there because she does all the art shit. She sets up all the art like showings and sales and stuff through Java.
So she's their graphic designer, is what I'm hearing.
And their cook.
And their cook. Okay.
Yeah. She does like a lot there. But
multi-talented, I guess. Yeah, I need a new artist because I haven't had any character designs done for the Panic Project or for multiple of the other projects. All of the art that I have on my Patreon right now is from 3+ years ago.
Yeah,
and
I'm looking at this werewolf fire thing. It looks cool as shit, but I don't know what to call it.
What, in my banner?
Yeah, in your banner on your right side.
Yeah. There's a lot behind that. It's not a wolf. It's just a beast, pretty much. I know, I'm not sure how much Corey has gone over the anima system from my old Pathfinder campaign with you.
Not much.
The elemental control and stuff like that. So, in my main story, everything, the main fantasy story or whatever, it's called Rugenda in the Patreon. The entire world, or the continent that everything's taking place on, revolves around 5 primary elements. And people are capable of learning how to manipulate one of those 5 elements, or multiple of those elements.
Okay.
That's the main character. He has an ability that isn't in the book yet, obviously. It's way, way later than this. He had learned an ability to possess his own soul with his anima control of fire. So he overwrites his soul with nothing but the raw power of fire, and becomes that. What the fuck?
That was my girlfriend. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. I figured it was her yelling at you again. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the form he takes when he possesses himself with nothing but his fire whatsoever.
Oh. For a minute there, I thought you were going down the path of...
To read first, I mean, the Rugenda project has been one that I've been working on and off for 14 years. So, it started as a writing prompt when I was a freshman in high school. Just a 6-page project of a story that we wrote ourselves. We had to start it up from the ground up and write the whole thing from ourselves. And I was a huge manga and anime junkie back then. I mean, I still kind of am. I'm a massive fucking nerd in every aspect. I spend most of my time gaming. Whenever my girlfriend's over, we just watch anime or YouTube the entire time. But it's probably the easier things to read. Otherwise, if you scroll through, everything that I've posted is free to read right now. I haven't posted anything in a while, but everything I post has a 1-month timer on it for the public. I'm trying to get more updates out than I have been. It's hard to do when you work a full 9 to 5 and have things to do outside of work and have severe writer's block. So I would either try that. If you're into something more horror-based, I would say Panic, because Panic is much more dark, I suppose. It's really up to you, though. The main 2 other projects on there are my D20 engine and the game concept that I'm working on. As well as, if you go through the old posts, I've posted a bunch of just short stories, things like that I've written for other characters in D&D and other writing prompt ideas that I've had. Stuff that I plan on expanding on later on. But there's quite a bit there. It's just a matter of finding it, I guess. I haven't reorganized my page in a little while. At least I have the posts tagged by what they are. So just short stories are tagged and things like that.
But, alright, my mans. I'm gonna hop out for a little bit. I'm gonna go feed my girlfriend before she kills me.
It's probably a good thing to do.
Yeah,
thanks for sticking around for at least the first 15 minutes of this mess.
Yeah.
I'm only going to be on until like another 15-20 minutes before I hop off of it.
Alright, well, if you stay on, go ahead, send me an invite, or give me a message,
Yeah, I'll hop on something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Depends on what everything else is going on, or what time Laura gets here, so...
Yeah. Alright, man. Well, have fun. Peace out.
Yep, see ya. Alright, back to this. But yeah, it's, as far as recommendations go for what you should read first, that really falls on you. It's just kind of what you like. Most of the stuff that I posted up there is fantasy-based, because that's just the genre I enjoy the most. I have a pilot chapter up there for a sci-fi setting that I plan on doing as well. That's another work in progress. All of this stuff is being done by just me. I don't have anybody else doing any of the writing, other than on the D20 engine. One of my friends is currently helping me make the magic system work, because I leaned very far away from the whole spells per day and bullshit like that from standard Dungeons and Dragons and Pathfinder. I just don't like how the system works. I'm trying to make it into a mana-based system where you don't have to prepare everything every day. You just know the spell. It's meant to be fast, easy, and more focused on RPing. Just giving you more time for RPing instead of just, okay, we have to spend 3 hours in this combat because the spellcasters don't know what they're doing, or don't know what spells to use, and the fighters are run out of abilities and things like that. It's supposed to be quick, easy, everybody gets the same number of abilities outside of actual magic use, and you can do whatever you want. There's no set class paths, I guess. It's all branched out. Every 5 to 10 levels you advance to another class of your choosing based on what you can already do, or what you want to learn to do, stuff like that. Let's see, what else we got here? Let's see. I'm kind of all over the place today. It's been a rough week. It has been a rough month, actually. I've been sick for over a month now, and I'm not particularly getting better. I'm just flowing in and out of getting worse. Happens just about every year, and it just sucks. Being unable to breathe for several hours at a time is just not pleasant. Here. Not entirely sure what you're checking out right now. Writer's block as in the stream title, or writer's block as in how long have I had writer's block? Because writer's block is just the name of this stream because it made sense. It's a block for me to talk about my writing and chat with people who have been here on my streams. All of these things have been uploaded to Twitch and YouTube and such like that. How long have I had physical writer's block? It depends on the project. Because I've currently been stuck on the next chapter for my Rugenda story for about 3 months. I've been struggling and struggling and struggling to figure out where the hell I want it to go before I have what actually is written already. So there's basically, in time frame for inside the story already, there's about 9 months worth of space to fill before things actually start happening. Like, things start picking up is the better term for it. Because I ran that story in order to flesh out the world. I turned it into a Pathfinder campaign and let my friends just rampage through the world and figure out how things were going to work. And I did that about 4 separate times with 4 separate groups. And it eventually got somewhere. Let's see here. Otherwise, as I said, there's a bunch of short stories and stuff up there. D&D characters that I've written stories for. Other stuff I liked writing prompts. Just things like that. I'm working on the 5th chapter for the Panic story right now. That was my last major update. Was chapter 4 of that, and I've been spending a lot more time working on the 5th chapter of it. It's just taking a lot longer time than I anticipated, because I'm a perfectionist, and no matter how much I write down, it doesn't matter to me if it doesn't feel right. There's no point in putting it to paper and finishing it if it doesn't sound right the first time. It's hard to deal with sometimes. Though, I've actually been told several times that even professional writers, if they can manage to get an entire paragraph on the page a day, that's That's better than most, apparently. So, I'm doing what I can. I want to have it done within the next week. Not entirely sure if that's going to happen. It's just a matter of what's going on in my life outside of doing these streams and everything else I'm trying to do. We've got about 20 minutes. Started this one a few minutes later than typical. I do these streams every single week, every Tuesday and every Thursday. What is the end game? That's really hard to explain because of how much I have there. I know what the end game is, but it's very hard to put into words when nobody so far, outside of the people who have been part of my campaign, understand what's going on. I don't want to describe it as typical fantasy trope of the world's ending and the heroes have to save it, because that's not entirely true. It's not entirely wrong, but it's not entirely true at the same time. There's a lot more to it than that. There's more to it than fantasy, people gain powers, go kill bad guys. I mean, there's a lot of things going in the background. There's a lot of gray morality, would be the better way to describe it. The people that are going to be involved is far more than the two characters who have been focused on right now. There's a lot more going on than just that. It's just establishing the world, this is what's going on, this is how it's going to flow, and then when we hit to the point where everything starts really picking up, I think I will be able to crank out more chapters more quickly because I have everything set in stone. Right now I'm just kind of at a floating point, and I'm not sure if it's perfectly where I want it to go yet. As I said, it's just filling space, and that can be the hardest part. One of the things I heard a long time ago and recommended was start your book from the end. And with this world and how everything works out, that's what I did, and I don't really want to spoil that at the same time. But it involves heavily around the capital, the Lightning Temple, at least for as far as the story is concerned. It heavily involves the entire capital of the country, and the gods. The gods are heavily involved. Especially the ones that granted the powers to the humans. The Anima. I assume if you're asking questions about that one, that's the one you're currently reading. Let's see. The flow for it for a little while, yeah, it does kind of follow the two different characters right now, and that's intentional. They're going to be important all the way through the end. But it's also going to follow a couple other people from their perspectives, because it's a lot more happening than just what these two are doing. And it's establishing the world more than anything, I guess. Yeah, did you have any other questions or anything else you'd like to ask? Because I'm pretty much just open for anything right now. Close out of these. Yeah, I can understand that much. So you're a writer as well, I assume? Oh, writing a song. Yeah, that can be difficult too. I mean, through high school, I was dealing with a lot of musicians. My mom's boyfriend at the time was a sound technician and a sound technician, and he ran his own sound company for bar bands, basically, and events and stuff like that. He was also in his own band with a bunch of his friends, and they were a 50s cover band. And all of his children, or at least his 2 sons, were both in their own bands as well, and doing their own original music. So during high school, I was dealing with that stuff a lot. I mean, I have a bass on my wall, I'm not particularly good at it, and I haven't practiced in fuck knows how long. I wish it was another habit I could keep, rather than tossing aside because I don't think I'm good enough at it. That's why I'm doing these streams and trying to keep up with the writing, because it's what I want to do, not just a hobby. I want to do writing full-time and do stuff like that. So, I can understand where you're coming from, with the very least trying to write a song. But, what is the song about, I suppose? That's always a good place to start. Is it particularly for someone, or about something? I mean, the flow and the genre and the stuff like that always matter too, but it does boil down to what is the intended lyric. Yeah, I can understand that much. Oh, for a wedding. Okay. That's kind of the same problem I'm having right now, is with my current chapter. I know exactly how it plays out, and how the ambience feels, and how it's supposed to be, but how do I take what I'm seeing in my head and putting it on paper? It's kind of the same concept. And I suppose the best advice I could really give right now would probably be the same as something I said earlier. Some of the hardest part about it is the beginning. So finding the words, sometimes you have to start from the end. What exactly needs to be said, and then naturally flow things from there, working your way back. If it's for a wedding, I suppose that has to involve a lot of specifics. I'm not sure entirely what advice I can offer for that, but even if the tune feels right, if the words you're speaking don't feel perfect, then yeah, it makes sense. I suppose, yeah, that's probably the best advice I can give right now, is start from what needs to be said. Not a typical wedding song. Well, I would hope not if you're writing it yourself. I mean, I'm not a... Okay. Is it like for a friend couple, or is it for like a work thing? They don't want it about them. Okay. So I would probably say keep it general? Okay. Trying to think of where to start on that. Let's see here. Where is my Googles? And them. Okay. Well. I'm really trying to think here what advice I can give you. Because in concept, a love for songs isn't just, like, an adoration for the lyrics. It is the natural flow of the music itself and how you feel from the natural flow of music. It's... Actually, music is supposed to be a big part of the Panic story, because it's more ingrained in the people who are going to be involved in the new coming chapters. So I have to think about this stuff a lot, too. But as far as love for songs go... I suppose that's just a matter of perspective. I wouldn't say you're fucked about it, but you definitely have a mountain to overcome here. Putting it into words is kind of difficult, but the adoration for music is also the connection you can feel with both the artist themselves and the people you're listening to it with, if that makes any sense. I suppose you could probably put a spin on something like that. Music is something that draws people together. And in a wedding situation, that makes a hell of a lot of sense. Yeah, I'm sorry if I'm not being super helpful right now. Trying to think of something at the very least. I'm also running the clock here because I have other things to do and my typical 30 minutes is actually up. But I do wish you the best of luck on the song. Do what feels naturally, honestly. Start from there. Even if it's not perfect, put it down. Maybe something else will come of it. Make changes here and there. I mean, I'm not the best person to give advice on doing exactly that because I'm a perfectionist, but either way, you do what you gotta do. I mean, I hope it goes well for you, and if you feel like it, you're welcome to come back to these streams. I do this exact kind of stream every single Tuesday and Thursday at 6 p.m. Central for half an hour. And I do gaming streams during the weekends and stuff like that when I can with people. I mean, on Twitch and on YouTube, all of my videos are saved on there. On weekends, we typically do, like, Smash Brothers streams and things like that. Depends on who I can get together this weekend. I want to try and do something, but also depends on them. But good luck with your music. Thank you for watching. Feel free to check out the rest of my stuff. Give me a follow at the very least if you want to keep reading newer stuff when I post it. Subscribe if you like. I mean, my lowest tier is $1. That's pretty much all it boils down to. And yeah, you have a good weekend too. But I will be back on Tuesday.